into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I'm gonna call in.
Jets, 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 Jets. Jets, 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 Jets.
Yeah!
We're back!
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Right! Monday Night Football, AfterBuzz TV, Week 2.
Oh, yeah.
We had the Jets versus the Colts, and if you hadn't already known by Jets chant over here from my girl, Stef Z,
What's
the Jets
up?
won.
I'm so excited to be back. I missed week 1. I was actually in New York for opening day, so to come back to my first Monday Night Football show this season with you guys and have a Jets be on and win, best day ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys can tweet me along the way if you want at IAMSTEFZ for everything Jets.
And next to Stef Z,
I'm Kevin John, and I am ecstatic because my team also won, even though it wasn't on Monday Night Football, but they also won this past Sunday. And I just want to say
Can't even give me the light for 2 seconds. It can't happen. For all the amount of time you've destroyed the Jets last year, you can't even just say, Steph, good game. You can't.
You know what, Steph?
You know, that's poor sportsmanship.
You know what, Steph?
You need to learn things.
For my annual winter vacation, you know where I want to go to? Revis Island, okay? I'm going to travel there. You can come with
you
me.
should come. The Patriots play the Jets December 27th in New York, and I will be there. You are invited.
that sounds
I bet
fun.
you were. Now, speaking of being there, obviously you guys saw last Monday. Unfortunately, I was not joined by my 2 favorite counterparts of all time here. It was me and, of course, Ben Bateman. So I can't tell you guys how excited I am, Tina, to have you back leading, and Stef Z to be next to me, causing drama.
That's how we roll.
I missed the both of you guys last week, so it's awesome to have you back.
yes,
Sweet.
we are happy to be back. And if you didn't already know, the 3 of us were covering Monday Night Football last season, so it's great to do it again this season. I'm Christina Kaplan. You can tweet me, find me on Instagram, whatever, at Tina Cap. Okay, like I said, Jets, Colts. It was a rematch of Super Bowl III, where the Jets actually were victorious over the Colts in that Super Bowl match.
Name
as
it
well.
against United.
And it was it was also the 45-year anniversary for Monday Night Football, which the first game the Jets played with Joe Namath, who won us that Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Broadway Joe.
Everything comes back around. We're gonna win it this year.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much to talk about because, I mean, this is extremely unexpected performance. I think more so on the Colts' part than the Jets, but the
That's
Jets
fair.
played amazing and it really showed you the moves that they made in the offseason, how beneficial they were to this team. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but still, 2-0, that's huge.
We won 4 games last year. It's super huge for
Yeah.
us. We're halfway there.
Yeah.
You really are. But, you know, I think one of the big things was getting a great possession wide receiver and deep threat that can complement Decker. And going out and getting Brandon Marshall, who is still at the age of 30, I believe, still one of the most explosive receivers in the league, I think was just golden to build around Geno Smith, who actually obviously wasn't there in his absence. Fitzpatrick has been coming in and commanding things. But yeah, I agree. I mean, the Jets really made some key acquisitions this offseason, and we see the
2 biggest key acquisitions we got, I believe, the 3 for me, Darrelle Revis,
Oh, yeah.
Cromartie, and Coach Todd Bowles.
Yes.
I mean, I fell in love with Brandon Marshall. Opening day, I literally was sitting 30 feet away from where he stripped the ball out of the guy after he almost got intercepted. So I get you on the Brandon Marshall, but the fact that we are not having as many penalties, we are, our D is insane. And our D has always kind of been good, but the coach, there's a huge difference in style, in discipline under Coach Todd Bowles. And you can see that already. And to me, that's the most promising acquisition because guys get hurt, guys have a bad day, this and anything, but if your foundation is solid now, and I loved me some Rex Ryan, but I can completely tell the feel of this team is no bullshit.
And I agree with you because, if you look at great teams, for example, the Seattle Seahawks the last couple of years, their foundation and base has been their strong secondary, the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
And
Jets have the number one secondary in the league right
that's
now.
what I was about to say.
They
The
do.
Jets right now, their secondary is just ridiculous. And it's not like they're playing terrible teams. I mean, they went against the AFC championship contender just this past Monday. So, just to see them grow. And Cromartie, he's a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
Revis, seasoned veteran. So, it's good to have that leadership there as well.
Yeah, and again, too, on those, it's both because we have 28 points on turnovers this season already. In the past 5 quarters, I think they said. We had 20 points last year on turnovers. So it was like, even though our D has always been somewhat kind of strong, we couldn't then convert that. You know what I mean? We couldn't make points off that. We get some flimsy field goal or whatever. Like, we're making interceptions and we're getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
No, I mean, wow.
Kevin John, when you're that is a rookie mistake, dude. Wow.
Ring, ring, Kevin John.
Yeah, let's just all bring attention to my phone right now that just ringed and
Whoa,
called.
you're on a show.
It was actually a fan that was calling in to talk
yeah, put
about
that fan
Jets,
on
but
live then. Hit
we'll,
accept.
We'll get the fan to come on
Hit
live
that
stream later.
Liar.
Hit that green
Sorry.
accept button for that fan, yo. As long, it's
Whatever.
not Fantasy Stats Guru. He doesn't live in this area code.
Yeah,
if it was
Fantasy
Fantasy Stats
Stats
Guru,
Guru.
I would have said take the call.
Actually,
Or
fantasy stats.
Rev LaCour.
Rev
Yes,
LaCour.
those are probably our 2 best fans. Hopefully you're watching because we love you guys.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, fantasy
super-
did tune in on the last week.
I know. I
for
got
Monday
some
Night
tweets that was like, you guys, because we're filming this on Wednesday today because we moved into the new studio, so we're a little late. But we did get some tweets that were like, "What happened? Your Jets finally
Yeah.
won. Why are you not talking about it?" I'm like, Wednesday. We'll talk Wednesday.
I know. Okay, so back to the game, back to the defense.
Yes.
So, granted, the Colts O-line was horrendous. They were not showing up at all. But still, it's the pressure that the Jets defense was putting on Andrew Luck. I mean, you guys made him look horrible.
Yeah.
And it was sad. I felt really bad for him. That first interception he threw, he took the fault for that. That was a bad throw. The rest of it was just, he was under pressure the entire game. Granted, there were no sacks, but there were 5 takeaways and 11 QB hits.
And I mean, that doesn't even include how many hurries that he
Yeah.
had as well, which I'm sure was probably over 10.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
was running around a lot back there, and you're right. It's hard for any great quarterback to get in a rhythm when your offensive line is failing you. And another thing is what's so funny?
You just burped as you're going
I did
into
burp.
your
I
just-
didn't
I
even
just
heard
wanna
that
make
though.
sure
I was trying to do that burp all discreetly, but
I wouldn't
wanted to
have said
make sure-
anything, but Steph just looked at me and
Oh,
started
blame it on
laughing.
the Jets
Well,
fan.
you just looked at me and started laughing, and then I just couldn't help.
We're like schoolgirls here.
you
Keep
know
going.
what? Burping is good, and plus I'm drinking some soda right now, which
Yeah,
kind of
that's
the
really
carbonation
good for athletes.
causes.
You know what I think it is?
But
Bringing
anyways.
it back to what Kevin John was saying. I just think the
Yeah,
the
Kevin never
style.
finished his point, but
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
You want to finish?
Go
I thought you lost it. I was trying to help you. I was trying to help you.
You're actually helping
I
me
was.
here. I love you.
I'm saying that I feel like because there is such a creative style of blitz packages happening, like they're just coming from
Yeah,
all over.
they are.
He doesn't know what to expect. They're on it, and it's like they're playing simple defense, but they're playing good defense.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say is communication with receivers as well. I mean, obviously we know that he lost one of his long-term veteran receivers in Reggie Wayne, who he was in sync with a lot. And I noticed there were a few times when he was calling audibles after the defense, but there was a miscommunication with his receiver, whether it was T.Y. And it didn't go through. And I even remember one of the I forgot it was Gruden or Mike that actually documented that. But, I just think that it's, possibly just the communication with receivers. Also, the receivers were not getting a lot of open looks. They were not, getting separation. And a lot of that could be attributed to the Jets secondary, who was basically just pancaking them all night.
Yeah.
But, it was just ugly. It was ugly.
No, I agree
was
with you.
awesome.
There was no
Awesomely ugly.
There was
It was
no
awesome.
communication whatsoever, and I think it's just Andre Johnson. He's brand new to this offense, and it's
Exactly.
just clear that there's no chemistry yet.
Yeah.
And T.Y. wasn't even expected to play because of his injury last week in week 1. So I think he was kind of limited in what he could do as well.
Yeah.
So many injuries happening early in the season.
I know.
It's kind of gnarly.
If you're a Cowboys fan, I feel sorry for you. Goodness.
Dez
Half of your
and
offense
Romo.
is...
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. We'll
Anyway.
see.
No, but yeah, so clearly there was a misstep with Andrew Luck and his receivers
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
You saw that.
But in the same sense, it's like, guys get new teams. Like Andrew Luck, he's shown his skill. He's got to be good enough to work that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't think the Colts are going to have a terrible season. I think it's too early to say just because they're 0-2. Their season's over. They made bad, whatever. But I feel like Andrew Luck, at this point in time, he should be comfortable in that situation.
I totally understand what you're saying, and you're right. If Andrew Luck wants to be considered an elite quarterback, then in those kind of situations, you have to take charge, but it's still hard getting acclimated. The only other quarterback I can think of that had immediate success with a completely new system was the Colts' former quarterback, Peyton, when he went to the Broncos in that first year in 2012. He was ridiculous with all those new receivers. But
I feel like they kind of built that offense around him.
They kind of did. You're
It's
right.
Peyton Manning.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
I mean,
a little bit of an odd
he's kind of a beast.
comparison. No, I'm
But
just kidding.
But if Andrew Luck wants to be considered in that kind of conversation, your Mannings, your Bradys, and stuff like that, you're right, Steph. There's, he's been around long enough. I mean, he's still young. He's in his third or fourth year, or it's his fourth year, I think. So he's still young enough, but it's still like, this would be a good time for him to prove his leadership and those intangibles and say, look, I know we got new people, but I will get us through this because I'm the quarterback, the franchise quarterback of this franchise, and I'll make it happen. And he just did not.
Right, but I don't want to put 100% of the blame on that to Andrew Luck because his offensive line did a horrible job of protecting him. And Chuck Pagano even said that in the post-game interview. He said, there was no protection whatsoever. And that plays a huge role in your decision-making. You're quickly making throws that are not as accurate as you'd like. Yeah, because you have a guy running at you full speed about to tackle you to the ground. So I think that it's 50-50. Andrew Luck needs obviously to work on some things, but also that O-line is just...
And also, speaking of the O-line, sorry.
I would even go, it's not just 50-50. It's, yes, Andrew Luck, yes to O-line, but yes, give credit where credit's finally due. The Jets defense is just coming through. You know what I mean? It's like, even if they had somewhat of a decent O-line, I feel like the Jets still are powering through stuff, which is awesome.
No, they are. So that just goes to show you that when they play another team with a good defense like the Jets, they're going to have those same problems unless they fix it.
Well, another thing you got to realize, like I talked about earlier, the foundation obviously is the secondary. We saw that with the Seahawks, but the foundation on offense is your running game. Yeah. And Frank Gore, I love him, came from the Niners. Great running back. Unfortunately, I don't think he's quite found himself in that system yet either.
No.
And once he gets going, that takes pressure off Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck can play his game. So I think there's a lot of things. If I'm the Colts offensive coordinator, first of all, I think my job may be in jeopardy. But there's some
not
things,
after 2 games.
Yeah, but still, there's some serious concerns going through that. That offense. You have arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. 2 great receivers, 1 veteran that's an all-pro, and a great running back. I mean, like you said, the offensive line definitely does get a lot of blame, but I would be very concerned.
Well, the rest of their offense is great too. I mean, Dante Moncrief had a great game. He was the only one really out of the receivers to have a good game. It was 7 receptions with 122 receiving yards and a touchdown. Colby Fleener, not a bad guy. He's a decent, tight end, and and then you said T.Y. Hilton, Andre Johnson. They have the weapons. It's just, I think, a matter of chemistry. It's just not right, not right yet.
You have to find a way to include Andre Johnson in the offense too. And I just, I don't know how many times he was targeted on Monday night, but
3 receptions for 27 yards. I don't know how many times he was actually targeted, though.
Yeah, so 3 receptions, 27 yards, average of 9 yards per reception. Those are not Andre Johnson-like numbers,
No.
And we know what he's capable of doing, and I just think that's another thing they have to find a way to include him more, to target him more, especially with T.Y. injured, because that's your main target right there. So, yeah, they just got to figure it out. Now, fortunately, Moncrief was able to step up, but, they need to figure some things out. But like I said, don't take anything away from the Jet secondary. I mean, they did a phenomenal job on them.
You know what was the craziest thing ever? You know how before the game they all do the predictions of who's going to win, the Colts or the Jets? It was that I think there's usually like 8 guys that do it. Is it 8 or 6?
Yeah.
2 pick the Colts, the rest pick the Jets. I was at the bar like, what? What is happening? I'm like, they're jinxing us. They're saying we're actually good. But it was like, and again, yeah, like you can't take away from the Jets, and not just saying it. Like I'm the first person to say we've been terrible for years, so I can say that. But our team,
again?
We looked like a football team.
Yeah.
Even the first game, it was a little bit like we knocked McCowan out, helicoptered him out. Johnny Manziel comes in. It was like sloppy, dirty. Like this game was an ugly game, but it wasn't like when there's just a game and it's like, oh, that was an ugly win. Like that was not an ugly win for us. It was an ugly lose for them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which is very
5 turnovers.
New.
It doesn't
very
get much
new
over
for
there.
a Jets fan.
Yeah, the Jets look dominant on all cylinders.
I mean, we haven't won back-to-back games in 2 years.
Yeah.
So then, I guess my question is, how much of this game then do you attribute? Excuse me. Do you attribute the win to the lackluster offense that the Colts displayed, or do you attribute the win to the fact that the Jets were just dominant?
No, I definitely think it's much more to the fact that the Jets defense played so well. I mean, the coverage was great on all receivers. I mean, we already talked about pass rushing, the pressure on the quarterback. I think that you definitely you give more of that credit to the defense than the lack of communication or the lack of chemistry from the offense. That's a small piece of it, but the Jets defense was dominant.
Yeah. And not only that, 100%, the Jets defense was dominant, but in the same sense, it's like, and again, I said this, as soon as the news came out that Geno Smith was punched in the face by a broken jaw and wasn't playing, I got texts from everybody. And the first thing I said, blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I don't believe, like, Fitzpatrick comes on the field, he has a sense of confidence. He's smart. He knows what to do. I don't think we're going to lose. We're not going to beat ourselves as much with Fitzpatrick out there. You know what I mean? Like, we would have made all these, and it keeps the adrenaline going. When you got a D like that, and then you turn over the ball, or you get an interception, and you recover a fumble, and then you give it to your offense, and they go 6 yards and 3 and out, like that's like, it completely kills the momentum. Now we've got a D like that, and then the offense is producing results.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. I don't want Geno Smith ever to be in a Jets jersey again.
Wow, those are some very harsh words.
I mean, he's full practice right now. He might dress for the game this Sunday against the Eagles, but they've already said Fitzpatrick's our number 1 guy now.
I was gonna say I don't see how they cannot start Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Oh, they will.
With everything that's happened with Geno Smith, not only just the offseason or preseason issues, but last season he didn't perform.
No.
So you have this guy that comes in 2 games in a row and performs. I mean, his numbers were, he was 22 for 34, 244 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but he had a 93.3 passer rating.
And it's funny, we talk about how great Fitzpatrick has been with this offense, or this team the last couple of games, and we were just talking, and he's getting acclimated with the new offense, like we were talking about with Luck. But the thing that I got to give Fitzpatrick credit for is this somebody that's been on 4 different teams the last 4 years, and is still able, granted he was coming off the bench on some of them, but it's still able to come into a new system, learn it quick, and he's a brilliant guy.
It's a new
Harvard
system,
grad,
but the offensive coordinator played with him in Buffalo.
Was it? Oh, okay, that is right. So they still have that
it's not,
connection.
like, and they played together when Fitzpatrick was like, what were they, 14-0? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the both of you will fall out if we keep winning football games.
Then Steph, do you think that it's time, if you haven't already, to draft Ryan Fitzpatrick in your fantasy leagues?
I do not play fantasy football.
You don't play fantasy football.
I do not. But if I did, I would definitely play it through DraftKings. It's the coolest thing going out there. I've heard all about it. You play through DraftKings, right?
I do play through DraftKings.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm glad you brought up DraftKings because, man, DraftKings is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially, we all love, let me ask you guys a question. You guys love watching football, right?
Duh.
Do you guys like making money too?
Yeah.
What if I told you can watch football and get paid while doing it?
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
That's like a dream job, right?
A dream job.
Who wouldn't do that? Well, the good thing about DraftKings is you can do just that there. I mean, this is the only fantasy league where you can change your roster and players on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah.
So guess what? You have Tony Romo, Des Bryant. They get injured first, second week. You don't have to be committed to them the rest of the season. You can go in the next week and get 2 other people. So that's the beauty of DraftKings, is that you can flip up your schedule. You're not married to any one player over a significant period of time. Also, DraftKings has also made millionaires out of people last season as well. So think about this: watching football, playing fantasy, make a million. Who wants to be a millionaire, right?
Dude, my Jets winning, making millions. I don't know. You're twisting my arm here. I might be jumping the fence to the DraftKings.
Well, guess what? DraftKings is actually crowning a new millionaire every week. So, it's like Tina, right now, you do pretty good. You make good money, great job. But just like next week, you roll in here, you're a millionaire, from playing DraftKings. You have like your entourage coming with a mink coat and like a decked out.
It's a little too hot for a mink coat. It's like 95 degrees outside.
Just saying. Or if Steph won $1 million, she would come in with like some Jets like eyelashes and like get like Jets contacts.
A Jets grill.
A Jets grill. That would be the day. But anyways, guys.
If we win the Super Bowl, I'm getting a Jets grill.
I'll get a Jets grill if you win the Super Bowl.
Do you hear this bet? Do you hear this bet?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, back to DraftKings. Make sure you go to DraftKings.com and enter the promo code. Get this, promo code is BUZZ. BUZZ, like AfterBuzz. That is your promo code. Go to DraftKings.com, enter BUZZ for your chance to be a millionaire. And I hear Colin Kaepernick is a pretty good quarterback to pick up if you want some points.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm no fantasy sports guru, but
the Jets D might be a safe pick.
But anyways, make sure you check it out. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
Woo!
Yes.
All right,
I
Kevin.
know. All right.
I'm just fired up.
Super
with you
into
guys.
Tell me how. Yeah.
I love DraftKings, man.
No, I
this
like
is
it
really
too. They
a
were
great
at the
thing.
Super Bowl this year. I met some of the people. I have a nice little hat. It's pretty rad.
Oh, was that the thing that we went to when we were doing the hand gliding?
No, that was StubHub. But remember outside we got those hats? You were with me. We got those hats.
We did get those hats.
DraftKings.
That is right. Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
Did you guys know this is Ryan Fitzpatrick's first victory over Andrew Luck?
Yes.
Kevin, you didn't know that, obviously.
No, I was thinking because I was thinking of the last few teams that he's been with. The Bills, the Texans, obviously the Jets, and what was the other team he was with? Because I was thinking how often he played Andrew Luck.
Fitzpatrick, fourth straight season, he'll start a game against the Colts. Jets this year, Texans last year, Titans the year before, Bills in 2012.
That was when I was forgetting about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm in love with him. I love him, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, but you guys got Fitzpatrick now. He's consistent, and he's not. Maybe he's not, the long ball passer. I mean, I don't know. Like he's thrown a couple long ones, but everyone was saying that, and it's like he's connecting. He's
a
consistent.
veteran.
He's a veteran. He's smart, and you know what? What's really gonna happen is Petty's gonna wind up being our franchise quarterback, and I would love for Petty to learn underneath Fitzpatrick than Geno Smith.
Yeah.
You know who Fitzpatrick kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of Alex Smith because both of these guys are effective game managers. They make smart decisions. They don't turn the ball over a lot. They both have high football IQs, and their teams typically go into the postseason and have success. So I would kind of call Fitzpatrick maybe to Alex Smith 2.0.
I just got chills when you said that because that means the Jets are going to be playoffs and we're going to win. We're going to win the freaking Super Bowl this year.
No, that's called optimism. But
we actually made a bet on this last year, Kevin, too, at the end of the season, if you don't remember.
I love the bet that we made where you had to wear my 49ers jersey in here. You looked so amazing.
What about the bet where you had to wear my Chargers t-shirt that was like tight on you?
It actually fit him.
So the second half of this game, what stood out to you guys in the second?
No, I'm curious to ask you, since we are on the Jets train, and I feel like we really
just give it to me. Just
we're
this one
all
time.
over Steph last season about how bad they were. So
Even Steph knew they were bad.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Jets and how good they were. And I want to know what you guys think about the wide receiving duo of Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall. Is this the first kind of game that is going to set the trend for these two guys to have a monster season?
Well, the problem that they're going to pose is this. I'm sorry, you're going to say
No,
something.
go.
Ladies first.
You got it.
Okay. The problem that they're going to pose is this. they're going to be a nightmare for opposing secondaries. And the reason I say that is because depending on how you're playing in cover 2, if you're doing man-to-man, or if you just have a drop back, the problem is this. Marshall is already going to command double coverage, if not multiple people over there, which means that you're going to leave Decker open on a lot of flats, a lot of slants, a lot of 5-yard slants, and Decker just get it running those. Decker can run downfield as well, too. We saw what he did on the Broncos, but the problem that they're going to have is because you're not going to know which one to key in on, because they both have strengths. It's not like one's a possession receiver, one's a deep threat. They both can equally do those kind of things well. So I think, like you said, with them being the 1-2 tandem punch, they're going to, create havoc for, opposing secondaries.
Yeah. I mean, like, I knew Monday night we were going to see Decker all day long, because the game that Brandon Marshall had and the chatter around him after the first Jets win, you knew he was going to be double teamed. He's still, I think, strong enough to take on that double team. I mean, you saw him. Like, there was at 1.4 guys on him. He still catches the ball. But yes, I mean, and Eric Decker, he hurt his knee, but I'm pretty sure it was just a sprain, and he's either going to play. He's okay to play Sunday if he wants. But I do think that it's, and again, I get it. Like, we haven't had this or something equivalent to this. I can't remember the last time. Altoon, Wesley Walker. I mean, like, when's the last time the Jets had a duo of receivers?
Plexico
and Holmes?
No. The other guy.
Burris?
No. He was
Plexico
good.
Burris?
Golly, it's slipping my tongue. He was on the Browns too.
Holmes, the guy with the
No. He was on the Browns as well. He won the. I'm gonna look it up. But Wayne Corbett too. But that was back in the day.
And 81. What was his name? Oh my God, Barton? No, not Barton.
God, it's killing me.
Well, while you guys think of that,
yeah,
if you didn't
I'm gonna
know,
look it up right now. It's killing me.
It's not
is
enough.
killing
And it's
me.
even now. You see, like, guys like Curley. Curley's playing special teams. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, RD and Ivory's still a little bit, like, off. We're like still dealing with the hammy injury. But it's like we got Marshall, Decker, Ivory, Powell.
Yeah.
We're good.
I mean, Brandon
Keller,
Marshall.
that's what you're talking about.
Keller. No. He was like an all-star. He was only there for like one season, I think, in 2000.
Kellen Winslow?
No.
Not Kellen Winslow. He was a good tight end. I'm gonna find it. Find it. Go ahead.
All right. Anyways, Brandon Marshall again. In active players, has the most Monday Night Football receiving yards with 1,295.
Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes.
Holmes, Edwards, yeah.
Braylon Edwards, yeah.
Did she say Holmes?
She said Holmes, but I was thinking of the two.
17, yeah.
Because it was when they had Braylon Edwards and Holmes that were good.
Yeah, but still, who was throwing the ball to them?
Mark Sanchez.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He's not, no diss on Mark Sanchez, whatever, but he had those two guys in his rookie season. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same as having a veteran quarterback with these guys knowing how to use them, knowing how to play smart football. You know?
Don't forget, in his rookie season, they also went to the AFC Championship game too.
And he also lost the AFC Championship for us.
All right.
Anyways. Take it away, Tina.
Our D actually got us to that championship.
How big of a season do you guys expect Darrelle Revis to have? He had 4 tackles, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries in this game alone.
Well, first of all, I don't expect him to put up those stats every game.
You don't? Why not?
That would be absurd. That's like if I'll put it like this: if he kept up this pace, he had 2 fumble recoveries, 1 interception, right? He would end the season with what 32 fumble recoveries, 17 interceptions,
I'm
something
down.
like that.
Do it. Bring it on. Bring it on.
And then also,
he was the defensive player of the week last week.
And well deserved. But also, you got to realize, because people already know how great Revis is. It's not like this is the first time people are taking notice to how great he is.
No. But I'm just saying, is he going to have an amazing season this year?
No, because offensive coordinators are already, when they're scouting, getting ready for the night. I don't know who do the Jets play next week.
But you're talking about it as if Revis is new. He took the Patriots to the freaking Super Bowl last year. Like, people know. People have been trying to play against Darrelle Revis.
People know about him, but I guarantee
he's still getting 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. He's still rattling quarterbacks. He's still shaking it up. Well, it's not like he's this rookie that they're like, we got to figure out how to shut him down.
No. Well, first of all, one of those fumble recoveries, he just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Doesn't matter. He did
forced the fumble. And then also, you got to realize that they're going to not not go to him as much. Kind of like the Richard Sherman thing. There's certain offensive coordinators that will just not go at him. I think Revis, continuing to play this great, he's going to start to garner that. Not to say he hasn't did that in the past. We know how great he is.
Right.
But I feel that they're going to be a little more reluctant to go towards him. So I don't think
his stats will suffer.
His stats will suffer because they're not going to go at him.
But still,
as
then
much.
that means he's effective.
Right.
You're
in my
right.
book.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think he's going to have a stellar year, and it's okay. The guys we have backing him up, Pryor, Cromartie, like they're all like it's like the band is back together with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're super pumped. Like you watch after in the locker room, like they post some stuff. It's like that team, the mentality of that team, it's different than I've seen or heard. I mean, every year I'm like, this is going to be a good year, but like this year is actually like a different year for us.
Which is kind of ironic because typically with secondaries, usually the younger you are, you know, because that's the most athletic position on
Right.
the field. You usually, but
They're playing smart.
But yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Hard.
The fact that the
They're
Jets
playing hard too, but
yeah. No, you're right. They're smart, hard, and they just really have a good command. If you watch what's his not the safety for the Jets, it's tip of my
Pryor?
head. Is it? But anyways,
Screen?
when you watch him, because there were a few times where they showed it when he was just watching Andrew
He
Luck's
got-
eyes. Because basically that's what the free safety you're supposed to do, read the
Right,
quarterback where
right.
he's going. And the fact that he was just on him and literally blanketed whatever receiver, opposing player was in that area is just an attest to, how great. They may be the Seahawks are the Legion of Boom. These guys, the Jet secondary this year, we can call them the Legion of the Meadowlands. Okay, that didn't sound as good. But still, they
wow,
are
swing and a miss, Kevin. Swing and a miss.
I'm going to take a 2-minute timeout while
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
gonna
talk.
take your mic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Take his mic. Yeah.
The Legion of Meadowland.
I think that the Jets defense definitely, you said it already, that there's a different, coordinator, a different feel, but I just sensed a different, I don't know, I'm trying
Energy,
to think of the word.
chemistry,
Yeah, like a different,
camaraderie?
there was a different energy. Like, granted, a lot of the guys that were there last year are here again this year, but it's just, you see a different defense out there.
Different mindset,
Everyone's playing with more of a spark, with more of a passion.
Absolutely.
And maybe, winning, I know winning helps. Winning helps a lot.
totally else. And it's interesting. When we were at the Super Bowl, me and Kevin were there. I interviewed Antonio Cromartie, and this was at the point in time he was still with the Cardinals, and we were talking about Coach Todd Bowles, and I was like, do you think the Jets are going to have a good year next year? And he was also saying he might be back, which is awesome that he's back. But his response, and not verbatim, but his response was pretty much like, Coach Todd Bowles has a great system. It's a question of if the guys are going to buy into the system or not. And these Jets have bought into this system.
Yeah.
They're happy to have a new coach. They're happy to have new things going on. I'm sure they're happy that, you've some of the players have even said they're happy that Gino's not playing. They're happy, yes, to be winning.
Wait,
but
the
it's
players
almost-
said they're happy that Gino's not playing?
Yeah, I'm not going to say who.
Whoa,
but
that is a
someone pretty much said that
tough.
Gino's job is pretty much over. But, the fact that the players have bought into this system, the sky's the limit now. And again, I'm not, whatever, like I say, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl because I have to, but it's, it is a different team. And I do think, again, that starts from the foundation. You can have great players. Lots of teams have great players, but if the players aren't communicating with each other, if it's not there, if the team isn't there, if everything's not packaged together as one, you don't win.
Yeah.
And I think you said something great. You keep talking about them going to the Super Bowl. Obviously, that means they have to win the AFC. And really coming into the season, especially while he had that first 6-game suspension, it seems like
4.
the Colts were unanimous as far as who everyone thought was going to be the AFC favorite.
Right. Well, that's what I was just about to get into,
go ahead.
is that everyone not only thought they were going to be the AFC favorite, they were predicting them to go to the Super Bowl. And now, and there's an interesting stat, as I have hair on my mic, that I just looked at. The Colts have struggled outside of their division in the Andrew Luck era. They're 16-2 in the AFC South, which really is not saying much at all. And they're 17-15 with all other teams. They've also been outscored 92-28 in their last 3 games. So clearly, and Eric Davis is one. I'm sure you have some loving words to say. He's an ex-Niner, but
Eric Davis is
he
as great as they come.
always says every time on NFL Network when they're trying to get them to predict before the season, he's like, it's August or whatever the month is. you can't make an accurate prediction before the season. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And look, this is a perfect example. Everyone was having the Colts go so far, and not saying that they won't make it to playoffs, but they're 0-2. It's very hard to do that. And that's another thing that people are saying about the Seahawks right now is that if you start off the season 0-2, it's the percentages, just the science and the math behind it. It's very hard to make it to the playoffs and to do what they did last season where they had, now if it's Green Bay and Seattle again, Green Bay has the home field advantage. That was the issue last season, is that the Seahawks won, giving them the home field advantage.
Well, the Seahawks also had a prayer that game too, but
so speaking with the Colts, it's crazy how much it can change and how wrong people can be.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, a lot of times when people make predictions for the upcoming season, a lot of that's coming in from what happened the last season.
Right.
And we saw what the Colts did this last season. They took the Patriots to the AFC Championship. Obviously, the Patriots got the best of them, but we just saw them emerging. You saw Andrew Luck take out Peyton Manning in the playoffs. So you saw the evolution of not just Luck, but the Colts. But the reason why I'm kind of glad, and I don't mean this in, like I dislike the Colts. I think they're a great franchise, but I'm glad for them that they came out to this horrific start, because what this is going to do is one of two things. A, it's going to make them focus on things on their Achilles heel and things that they don't do well. And so far this season, even though we talked about their offense, is their defense. Because if you realize, even in the past, they rely. I know my hands are. I'm all Inspector Gadget all over. It is. I'm just nervous. I'm back with you two, and life is so good.
We make you nervous. It's all right.
You do. But no, the Colts rely heavily on Andrew Luck in the offense. If they go to shootouts, they'll win games 38-31. So I think because they have such a great quarterback that puts up these incredible offensive stats, they kind of rely on that to bail them out. So when your offense is not doing well, then what do you turn to? And that's why I think the foundation and the basis needs to go back to their defense, which I don't know the numbers on their defense last year, but I don't think it was top 10. So maybe that's something for them to focus on. But yeah, I mean,
I too.
Their defense ranks 17th in the NFL prior to this game. So I don't know how much better or worse.
It's not terrible. It's right there in the middle.
They were last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of their defense came back. So.
Oh, well, I know the Colts actually, speaking of their defense, they had a lot of injuries to their secondary. I want to say that
they did.
They only
They
had,
definitely did.
Yeah, I want to say like 3 of their original starters coming into the season weren't even suited or could even play on Monday night, and another one of their DBs got injured Monday night. So I know their secondary is banged up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't banged up the week before when they got beat by the Bills too. So I mean, I just feel like overall the Colts need to do a little bit of readjusting.
I agree.
Yeah, they had in week 1 they had 0 sacks, 0 takeaways.
Look, exactly.
So and it says right there, did not have any games last season with 0 sacks and 0 takeaways. So maybe that's another issue to work on.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got a lot of things to work on.
We basically just told them they have to fix their entire team.
That's what I'm about to say.
Your quarterback sucks, your O-line sucks, your defense sucks.
I don't think anyone sucks.
Your special teams is doing great.
I don't know that anyone sucks. I just feel like they're
no.
all not on the same page.
Totally.
It's like, and that's the beauty of football. You can have a great quarterback, but you need a great receiver, and then you need a great running back, and you need a great defense, and you know what I mean? It's like you need a great everything to put it together. And right now they're just not clicking. And it's not like for example, when the Jets were bad a while ago, like you could be like, oh my God, Sanchez is terrible. Like you could put the blame on one thing, and it was that we haven't had a good quarterback. Who knows the last time we've had a good quarterback, a sustainable, consistent quarterback. But I feel like with the Colts right now, there's not one thing that's just completely like a red light flashing like this is our problem. There's multiple problems, so if they can sort it out and put the pieces of the puzzle back together, I think they'll be all right.
Right. I mean, and they were at home too, which just adds another level of
frustration.
Frustration to that team when you can't even win at home.
I think the fans were booing a little bit in the third quarter, I want to say, after the second interception.
I mean, honestly too, like it's gotta resonate in their heads that we're getting destroyed. We're getting destroyed at home. What's happening? We're getting destroyed by the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, not even trying to say anything, but
Yeah,
like it has
but
to weigh
I think that
who they're
it's-
playing, and you know.
Yeah, but I think it's widely known, and it was widely known heading into this season that the Jets were much improved. So I hope that that's not what they're thinking, because if that's what the whole league is thinking, then they're in for a rude awakening, because we saw
Say it again. The whole
She
league's
loves
in
that.
for a rude awakening. Why? Why are they in for
the
it?
Jets are so good this season.
Oh, music to my ears. I love you, Tina Cap.
I'm happy for you, because I felt bad after a while. It was like, all right, like we can only make fun of the Jets so much, and then it just gets sad when they only win 4 games.
Hey,
but
man.
now, I mean, chances are they're going to win more than 4 games this season.
If we were to lose, we have to. We're gonna.
And you know, the thing I gotta give you is you are a loyal fan. You know, most
Dude.
fans, you know, when their team is going through those dark periods, they don't still walk out representing their jersey, their paraphernalia, and say, "Look, I'm diehard." Steph is diehard, and I have to give you that. You
Thanks,
know.
dude. Going to London in 2 weeks, yo. 2 weeks to see the Jets-Dolphin game on my birthday. October 4th, my birthday, Jets-Dolphins. Give me some love out there.
Dude, I want to go.
I got an extra ticket. You got an extra ticket?
Do you have
would
an
love to
extra
go, too.
plane ticket too?
Don't have an extra plane ticket. But I do have an extra ticket and a place to stay.
Dang it.
Wow, Steph, you got the hookup.
I do.
Well, we'll all meet in San Francisco for the Super Bowl this year.
To cheer on the Jets.
Yeah.
If the Jets are in it, you guys are both going head to toe. If the Jets are in it and your guys' teams aren't, head to toe, I want you Jetsed out.
Okay, I'm
I don't
down
have any
with
Jets
that.
paraphernalia,
I will buy it
but
for you.
I'll
You'll
throw
fit into my
something together.
jerseys.
There you go. We'll
If
do
you fit
that.
into Tina Cap's Chargers t-shirt, you'll definitely fit into my jerseys.
Yeah, I think the jerseys will be too big on him.
Yeah, swimming.
You know what? That's all right though, because you know
You're a lean, mean fighting
I'm
machine,
weak
Kevin
and skinny
John.
in certain areas. I make up for in other areas. So, okay, not like that. Okay,
That's
not like that.
exactly
Get
what
your
you were
head out
trying
the
to say.
gutter.
What
Get your-
were you thinking then, Kevin?
Where
John?
I'm weak. Where I'm weak. You know, some people.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Anyway,
anyways.
back to the football. Back to the football.
Anyways, yeah, so I'm trying. Why is this not loading?
You know another thing I was
What,
going to
next
say
week?
too.
I forgot to write down who plays next week.
While that thing is loading, I'll just go ahead and say this.
I'll try.
The thing also, and I know we've beaten up the Colts enough, but it's like when your offense is not winning, your defense is not winning, you at least got to rely on your kicker. And
Oh, I know.
Vinatieri, who is
2
one of the
missed
most
field goals in
thank
that
you.
game.
One is like a 29
30.
yarder.
Yeah.
Or 30 yarder, which
30
is a
yards.
cheap shot.
off
And
the
it's-
goalpost.
I can't believe they both hit the goalpost.
I know.
It's kind of awkward.
It's just like, man, nothing is clicking for them. You know, I don't know. Maybe they need like maybe Andrew Luck. Who is he dating? Because you know,
I
a lot
think
of
he's
times.
married.
Oh, is he married?
I think, and they went to Stanford together.
Oh, okay. Well, he does a good job of keeping his personal life out of the public.
Andrew
but-
Luck
Because
is
it's not about that. It's about freaking football.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with who he's dating.
Hey, no,
And-
sometimes who you're dating can distract you. I'm just saying. Look at
Like
Tony Romo and Jessica
Sierra.
Simpson. Look at Serena Williams and Drake. Look at Sierra and Russell. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it
All
out
right.
there.
Anyway,
Who
the
is Andrew
next-
Luck dating? We need to figure that out.
I
He's
believe.
married.
Who is he married to? We need to serve
Okay.
his papers.
The
No,
next.
I'm joking.
The next. You are crazy. The next Monday Night Football game is Kansas City Chiefs at Green Bay.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good game.
That is.
So all right, guys, let me get your predictions for that game then.
I got Green Bay.
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh,
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
look at this.
I'm gonna say the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say Green
Jets
Bay.
are just gonna win every single game, even if they're not in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay. Looking sharp.
This is the thing. I mean, you're playing at Lambeau Field. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is hotter than asphalt in Phoenix, Arizona. And they're just, they are literally on a, they don't have Jordy Nelson, but they're finding ways to get it done. Jones is playing out of his mind.
Out of his
right?
mind.
Okay,
Out of his
James
mind.
Jones, like what? I had him last year on my fantasy team on the bench. He did nothing, so
Yeah.
I just left him on the bench.
This was a dude that was sitting on his couch like 6 months ago, like wondering where he's going next and just beasting. So anyways, I say all that to say, Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying Green Bay too, because even with Eddie Lacy going down, they had James Starks in there too. That was still able to make plays on with the run game. Then, like you said, James Jones, you still got Randall Cobb. I mean, their defense played really well against Seattle, shut them down. I think, even though Travis Kelce has been playing really
Oh, yeah.
really good for the Chiefs, I just don't think that they have enough weapons on offense. Because Jamal Charles, if you looked at it actually last week, a lot of the top running backs all fumbled. Jamal Charles, Frank Gore, I think Marshawn fumbled.
I think DeMarco Murray fumbled as well.
Yeah, I think there was like 4 or 5 of them.
Yards.
I know, it was terrible.
Well,
they need to find a way
blame it on him that much.
They need to find a way too
Who?
to get DeAnthony Thomas more involved as well. I mean, he is one of the most explosive
Black
all
Mamba.
around. The Black Mamba, yeah, he's one of the most explosive. And I was watching the Chiefs game. I think it was the first weekend, the weekend before last, and they weren't really doing much to get him involved. And I think that he's going to be their X factor, because he's so versatile. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We will see. Guys, tell them where they can find you in the meantime on social media.
You guys can find me on Twitter. Titter. No. You can find me at IAMSTEFZ.
I'm Kevin John. You can find. I like how your thigh just totally hit my knee like in a
What are you
hard
talking
place.
about?
I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Hey Kevin John.
And I'm Christina Kaplan. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter or InstaFace, as Bill Belichick likes to call it, at Tina Cap. And we'll see you next week.
You couldn't keep the Patriots out of this.
I'm sorry, I had
Go
to.
Jets, Jets. Jets.
Legion of Meadowland.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
I'll buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.